So, in this video, I'm just going to talk about, well, basically a couple of things. So, first, I want to talk about how to actually make a data frame from scratch without, sort of importing it or reading a CSV file, because I've kind of showed you how to read CSV and Excel files and make a data frame from that with pandas, but I haven't really shown you how to just make a data frame. So I'm going to get into that. And I'm also going to show you how to edit column names basically, and edit sort of just edit column names. In another video, I'll show you how to edit rows and such. But anyway, let's get into it. So we'll start with our import. We'll import pandas as PD. Just wanted to start off with that just so we get used to it again. I could make a data frame. But I won't. I'll read the data frame later on. I'll read the CSV file later on. What I'm actually going to do is show you how to make a data frame one of two ways, and I'll probably get into more what a data frame is now. Right? So we're going to make a data frame, or actually, first of all, I'm going to need either a dictionary or a tuple to make a data frame from. So I'll make a dictionary, and we'll call it dictionary1, not dictionary, dictionary1. And we'll say it's equal to, I don't know, it's just a regular dictionary. Now, we'll give ourselves our key value pairs. And what we're actually going to do is the keys are going to be the column names. So we might call this column 1, for example, right? And the values have to be in a list, right? So that we can separate all the different values out for the rows, okay? Now, I've decided that I'm just going to have 3 values. And for this first 3, I'm going to call them val. For column 1, they're all going to be called val, just to show our generic value can be put in. We're going to have column 2 as our second dictionary key. And we're going to have 3 values again. And we're going to have them as just random values. So we're going to say Jack, we're going to say dentist, and we're going to say LLLLL, right? Then I'm going to call the third column, you guessed it, no, just joking, I'm not going to call it column 3, I'm just going to call it a column name, right? Just so you can see that they don't have to all be column 1, column 2, etc., etc. And we're going to have the 3 values, 1, 2, and 3 for that, right? Now, you might be able to guess what the next step is, but I'm going to show you anyway. We're going to say df, which stands for data frame, is equal to pd.dataframe. So it's equal to pandas.dataframe. And we're simply going to turn that dictionary 1 into a data frame. And what this is going to basically do for us, it's going to put these 3 keys as the column name. So it'll be column 1, column 2, column 3. And these will be the row values for column 1. These will be the row values for column 2. And these will be the row values for a column name. Right. Just after I make that, I'm going to show the df so you guys can see the data frame. PD is not defined. That's because I need to import this. I need to run everything. Don't know why I just run those 2 bits. So I need to import pandas, and I need to actually load up the dictionary variable. And we can see we now have a data frame with column 1, column 2, a column name. And you see that it's got all the correct values that we'd hope for it to have. Jack Dentist, blah, blah, blah. That's in column 2. 1, 2, 3. That's in column 3. And so you can see that we've made a data frame here. Right. Now, there's one more way to make a data frame, and that's actually from a set of tuples, right? So we're going to call our tuples 1, and we're going to put them inside of a list, right? So the first set of tuples are going to be val, and then we'll say val2, and then we'll say hello, right? That's our first tuple. Tuple number 2 is going to be 3 numbers, so we'll say 4, 5, and 3. And tuple number 3 is going to be, I think I'll just put another bunch of numbers once again, actually. Now, what you may have noticed is there are no column names. We're going to do a similar thing here. We're going to say that df is equal to pd.dataframe. and we're going to get the data frame of tuples 1. But we need another argument because, as you can probably see, there are no column names, right? So we're going to say that columns are equal to, and they're going to be equal to a list of strings, and we'll give the column name. So we'll say col1 for column 1. We'll call the second one tr. Don't know what that means, but we'll just call it tr. And we'll call the third one mop in capitals, right? And I'll just type out the df variable there. I'll have to load in these tuples as well, and you'll see what the result is there. Tuples is equal to, oh right, yeah, I get that. Gonna have to do that again. There we are. So we've got column 1 has got value 1, column, and then value 4, value 99, and then tr has got value 2, 5, 88, mop's got hello, 3, and 77. Now you're probably looking at that thinking, that is not what I expected. That's not at all what I was hoping for. I was thinking that we were going to have val2, hello, all in column 1, then 4, 5, and 3, all in column 2, and then 98, 88, 99, 88, 77, all in column 3. No, these are the rows. Each tuple is its own row. So that's the difference between the tuples and the dictionary. With the dictionaries, because you've got the columns as the keys, they associate with, you know, these different values for the entire column going up and down. But these tuples here, they are taken as rows, right? And that's it really. There's other ways to make pandas data frames, but I've already gone over, you know, CSV files and Excel files, and I'm not going to go over the rest because for the most part, it's probably just going to be through, you know, tuples that you get from a file or through dictionaries or CSV, Excel files, and various other file types that you can load from. You can actually load from .text files as well. So yeah, there's quite a few ways to make dictionaries, to make data frames, should I say, other than what I've displayed here. Now, we're going to get into how to edit columns. I mean, we could actually edit some of these columns. In fact, I will actually edit some of these columns, yeah. So, let's say that we, I don't know, we want to edit some of the column names, right? Well, what would probably be useful to us is if we did this, df.columns, and we ran this just to see what our column names are. And you can see it gives us, you know, an index and everything like that, and it says we've got column 1, we've got tr, and we've got mop. Those are our columns, right? And we could actually change them in various ways. So we could say df.columns is equal to, and here we can basically make a list of for the column names. So we've got these 3 column names if we want to change all these column names, and we could keep col1 the same, for example, and then tr we might want to call that mr for some reason, Mr. for some reason, and we may or may not want to change mop. Let's say we want to change the m. No, we want to keep the M capital, but we want the OP to be like that. So it's MOP rather than MOP, right? And if we look at this data frame after doing that, you'll actually see that this data frame's changed. So now you can see that the column names are all different, right? There's other things we could do. So maybe we want all of these to be capitalized. So we might say, I don't know, df.columns. Oh, not df/columns, so df.columns, i.e. the columns attribute of our data frame called df, is equal to, right? And we can make a set comprehension. Well, it's going to be a list comprehension actually. We can say col name dot upper, right? So uppercase column name for col name in df.columns, right? So I'll go over what that's actually doing. What it's doing is it's saying for every item in df.columns, i.e. col1, mr, mop, convert each item to uppercase. So this would be all uppercase, all uppercase, all uppercase, and then assign those values to df.columns, which will permanently change it, which You'll see when I execute this, right? And you can see we've got now, so you see the last result, that was these two parts were lowercase, they're now uppercase here. This was lowercase, it's now uppercase. Mop is now fully uppercase, and we might read it as MOP, for example. So there we can change that. What else could we possibly change? What else could we possibly change? Well, we could actually do lower. So, we could copy and paste this and do lower. We could say df.columns equals col name dot lower for col name in df.columns. Right. It's exactly the same thing in reverse, but I probably want to close that bracket off, make the comprehension real. And now it's all gone to lowercase. Another thing I can do is, instead of using this df.columns attribute, I can actually say df.rename. And I can say that columns are equal to, and it's actually a dictionary, right? So what you want to change and what you can change is these old column values. So we're going to say that col1, is now equal to t-rex or t-rex, like that. And we can say that MOP is now going to be, what do we want it to be? MOP POM. Yeah, we'll call it POM. Right, and then we'll return that DF. Let's see what we get. Now, you may have noticed something. We actually haven't got anything back. Right, so let's see what happens when I run rename. See, when I run rename, what happens is I get column 1 has changed, MUP has changed to POM, and Mr. stayed the same. But what df.rename does is it actually returns the new data frame, but it doesn't change the original df data frame. So when we printed that all out, we actually just got the original data frame back because it doesn't change the original data frame. So what we have to do in order to change this is I can copy and paste this, basically, all of this, right? We need to add one more argument, and that is in place equals true. And what this does is says that we want to permanently change the original data frame that we use in this rename function on to be like the return value, right? Now when we load it, it's changed for good, right? And you can see in here, I've actually only used two of the columns. You can use one column, or you can use multiple in this dictionary. And this is useful if you just want to change the name of one column or the name of multiple columns, but not all columns, as is the case with df.columns assignment here. Right. That's pretty much everything. Thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed.